This survivorship course is actually part of SLOCA's 3-part mission. That mission is to educate, and it's also to support survivors. So actually there are 2 parts there that we're covering today. And of course the 3rd part of our mission is to try to encourage research and to promote research and to help out wherever we can in that way. So today you're going to get educated, and today we're here to support you. I know that when I was just in chemo or just getting out of chemo, I needed a lot of help. And I needed a lot of information, nutritional information, personal information, how to take care of myself. I know my husband needed a lot more information too, because I think the caretaker role is probably one of the most important. I've been the patient and I've been the caretaker. I will take patient anytime. I really think whoever's taking care of you and doing things for you, you can't say thank you enough. It's just amazing. One more thing I want to mention before I introduce the next person. If you don't have this in your bag, there is a newsletter on the back table. Make sure you get one of those if you don't have one. Inside of your dark blue folder, there should be a lot of information about all of the things that are happening this month in September. If you don't know this already, September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. This is a national thing. So we have a ton of stuff going on here in St. Louis that you could participate in. Coming up next Thursday is Teal Toes. You can have a pedicure, and if you want to, have a manicure too. You don't have to cut yourself off at one. Get your toenails done in teal. How exciting is that? And part of their proceeds are going to come back to SLOCA. A bunch of other things are happening too, so be sure to check. If you don't have a calendar of events in your folder, it's on our newsletter, and the newsletter's on the back table. Also, there are extra things on the back table if you want to take extra cards or newsletters to friends. If you think maybe somebody in your sphere of friends needs to have a pedicure, maybe that's a gentle way to tell them, here, go do this. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our Executive Director, Christine Kruger.
Good morning. My name is Christine Kruger, and I've been the Executive Director of SLOCA for about 11 months now. I've learned a lot, but one thing that I have learned is this organization is run by volunteers. And so I would like to acknowledge the volunteers in the room, specifically the board members. If you would please either stand up or raise your hand, because I see several of you are already standing. And Nancy Larson is standing in the back of the room, and I don't know that she gets enough credit, but she is the woman behind this event. And she's also a oncological nurse, and she's just an awesome all-around person. If you haven't met her, please introduce yourself. Lisa mentioned some of the events that we have going on this month, and we've already had 3. We have 5 more coming up. It's a very busy month. We turned the fountain teal on Friday. That's the Keener Plaza fountain, so if you haven't seen it, now you will know why it is teal. And we also have volunteers that are going to be down there. They were there Friday during the lunch period, educating people about the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer. They'll be there Monday and Wednesday of next week as well. And I'm mentioning these because they are all volunteer opportunities, if it's something that you might be interested in helping with. We're all in different places in our journeys, but if you're at the point where you want to fight back and get involved, we're here for that too. We've also baked cookies this last Tuesday. We were at the Deerbergs Cooking School, and we baked 800 cookies, and we distributed them to the gynecologic oncologist offices that do chemotherapy infusion. And also, so the nurses and the doctors were able to enjoy that, as well as patients. And there are several more that are in the hallway if you would like to pick up a couple yourself. And let's see, we had another event. What was that? The ball game. Oh my gosh, how can I forget that? That was last Friday. It was a Cardinals versus Cubs. Unfortunately, they did not win, but the Cardinals didn't, of course. But it was a wonderful way to get some information out at the ball game. We've had the person who had bid at the auction this last spring throw out the first pitch. She was a 5-time cancer survivor, 3 ovarian and 2 breast. And it was just a great way for us to get the signs and symptoms out in front of thousands of people at one time. And we have pictures of that and all the other events on our website. I also want to mention that when you get your evaluation at the end of this course, there is a place at the bottom to indicate if you would be interested in sharing your story, your journey story, whether you are a survivor or a caregiver. Those stories are very important to us. In fact, one of the things that we do is called Survivors Teaching Students Saving Women's Lives. We have survivors who speak about their experiences to doctors so that they will put ovarian cancer among their list of differential diagnosis. Rather than thinking of it last, it becomes something that's in their mind. And that's very important because we want to decrease the time that it takes to get a diagnosis. It should take not several months, not years. It should take much less time. And that's very important. Your stories are really what makes this organization run, especially during National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, when we try to get those out and say how important it is to know these signs and symptoms. And we can use the stories to educate people. So I encourage you to indicate that you will be willing to share this, and we'll have a volunteer connect with you to interview you. So I also want to introduce the next speaker, which is Danielle Hodges. She's with the Cancer Support Community.
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Cancer Support Community, I want to welcome you here this morning. I think it's going to be a wonderful day. It is the mission of the Cancer Support Community to empower all people impacted by cancer through knowledge and sustain them by action and by community support to enhance their overall well-being. The Cancer Support Community offers free professionally led support groups and networking groups, educational workshops, nutrition and gentle exercise programs, one-on-one nutritional counseling, and stress reduction classes to empower, educate individuals affected by cancer. Our programs are completely free of charge to anyone diagnosed with cancer, their friends and family and caretakers, to children affected by an adult cancer diagnosis, or the bereaved. We offer a drop-in gynecological cancer networking group the third Monday of the month from 6:30 to 8:30 for information sharing, networking, and coping. And again, I'd like to just welcome you on behalf of the Cancer Support Community. And if you have any questions throughout the day, feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Danielle Hodges, so it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. You're probably starting to figure out that this course is possible by a lot of hands, a lot of people, and a lot of support. My next introduction is Margie Price, and Margie is with the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer, and we are so pleased to have her here today.
Thank you, and good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me. And yes, I am a woman, and yes, it is the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer, okay? I'm the only woman involved. None of you can get my job, so just don't even think about it. That's mine, okay? But anyhow, I have a great group of guys. Let me tell you what this group does. This is a group of St. Louis businessmen who raise money for cancer research, care, and prevention. And the thing that makes our group unique is that we are non-age or gender biased. We raise money for men and women, children and adults. So we actually put our arms around the cancer community and support their efforts. We raise a lot of money, and every year we get grant requests. We turn those requests over to a medical advisory committee made up of oncology doctors in the St. Louis area, and they give us the recommendations. They don't make the decision. They make recommendations that come back to the entire committee. These men are, trust me, they're all Indian chiefs. They're doctors, lawyers, bank presidents, everything. And they ask questions. They do not rubber stamp the recommendations. We then decide who's going to get the money. When I first heard, and I'm usually the person that hears about the request, well, the requests come to me, so obviously I am. When I first heard about SLOCA, well, I was hooked, because what you all do is so amazing. This group just, I cannot tell you how much I respect your efforts, all of you, be it a survivor, a volunteer, one of the leaders, the husbands, the caregivers, all of you. At any rate, luckily, the guys felt the exact same way. They said, we want to support SLOCA. And as a result of that, we have been doing that every year in May. We give a check. And we have a check presentation luncheon every year in May. We give away all of our money. And it feels really great the next day to be broke, because we got nothing. So it's a really good, cool thing to do. And every year at the luncheon, I always say, we're going to keep on keeping on doing this as long as you all keep doing it too. And at the risk of sounding like Walgreens when I say be well, I hope you all will always be well and continue to fight this battle and continue with your journey and do whatever it is whatever's necessary, whatever it takes to make your journey good and easy to go through. I'll tell you, teal has all of a sudden after today become my favorite color. I mean, it's beautiful. I want one of those long skirts, and I've asked, where do you get them? I don't know where you get them. I want one. So I'm going to become a shopper and find one. But anyhow, thank you for inviting me here. The St. Louis Men's Group of Cancer is, I see that button, it says, no one fights alone. You know what, you're right. Because the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer is right with you fighting it. Keep up your battle. I wish you success, and thanks again. Have a great day, everybody.
I'm going to jump off the agenda for just a second. I want to introduce someone to you who has almost single-handedly, she'll deny that, but single-handedly put this together today. This is a member of our board and an oncology nurse who has been crucial to St. Louis Ovarian Cancer Awareness. I want to introduce Nancy Larson.
Oh, it's so good to see all you here. I love all of you. You know, it looks great. I hope that you can get something out of this. We really so much want to help you with your journey. So I want to tell you about a person that I met about 8 years ago. She come in as a new person in our oncology group, and she has just been awesome and a great asset to the oncology division of the GYN oncologists and to us nurses. She's a great teacher too. So her name is Dr. Premal Thacker, and I'm going to have her come up and give you a little welcome too. She's just had a baby, and oh, she's adorable. If you get a chance to look at her out there, she's really cute. So Dr. Premal Thacker. She's cuter than Dr. Thacker, but we're not going to. Dr. Thacker.
Good morning. I'm so glad to see so many faces got up on a Saturday. I'm up a lot because of my little newborn. She's 5 months old, and Nancy asked me before maternity leave to actually do this, and I was like, absolutely. Nancy is a great, charismatic woman who you can never say no to, so do introduce yourself. She and as well as the rest of the SLOCA board are wonderful people. I've been very fortunate to work with them for the last 8 years, and actually I'm a recipient of one of your guys' great foundation grants for research. So, you know, I know today's concentrating on survivorship and symptoms and different treatments, but, you know, all of that can only be done with volunteerism and actually raising money. So you guys are very proud people in terms of getting us that money, and that's great because that helps people like me try to help you even better. So I also have to give the regrets of Dr. Much. He actually was wanting to be here today. A lot of you probably know him in the community because he's been here for more than 25 years working at WashU. But unfortunately, because of timing and scheduling, he couldn't be here. But I hope I represent him and our division, as well as all the GYN oncologists in St. Louis, because we all work as a team. Just because you're at SLU or you're at St. John's or anywhere, it doesn't really matter. We actually all work together. It's a small community and a nice family, and I'm glad to be here and participate with you today. So I look forward to meeting a lot of you and speaking with you a little later on in the program. Have a great day.